Not what I want. Do we have anything else besides this in the can? Yes, sir. Hey, listen. I mean, two things could be true. Number one, I'll credit that team. I think they've got just so much physicality and so much front court strength. Just with what they bring to the table at center and with Pete, that's obviously big time. And then Jaden Bradley, just an experience. I think one of the top point guards in the country. So multiple things could be true. A brutal loss just because we fought so hard, to get a lead down the stretch, and then obviously they have that bad miss, up one, bad miss at the rim. Just got to secure that defensive rebound, come down, execute, maybe get a 3-point lead, 4-point lead. They pick it up off the ground, turn and score, take a 1-point lead. So, really tough, tough loss because we could have stole it. I mean, literally stole it. We were out rebounded, obviously by 20, and versus a high level opponent, you're not going to have many nights where you could steal one versus a top 5 team when you get out rebounded by 20. So. I mean, probably the night is frustrating and as lack of sleep as it'll be for all of us tonight, where there was one we could have stole that would have been an incredible win for us. But you probably walk away from it saying we just got to get whole and healthy. And I think we have a good feel for the quality of the group that we have. So.
Yeah, as far as just Taras goes, when did you know that? When did he hurt himself at the end of the BYU game? And what's the severity? What's it looking like right now?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really. It was pretty quiet on Sunday, and then as Sunday night into Monday, we kind of didn't really think much of it because he was, kind of walking around, in the post game, and he wasn't in a boot or anything like that. So, I think we kind of thought he'd be available, and then. Just the medical, got to look at him, and we're just gonna, he's gonna be game to game from this point. With the, with an ankle sprain, we've become. I believe we are the basketball capital of the world, but we're also becoming the ankle sprain capital of the world and the muscle pull capital of the world. So, we've got to, we've got to get this team on the court. We got to get all of our weapons on the court. Obviously, we got to get him and Braylon on the court. So, yeah.
Dan,
Yes, sir.
how did that timeout with 13 seconds left? Silas drives and dishes it off to Eric. It was almost a perfect, 3-point play there.
Yeah.
Was that the plan? And two, what did you just think of the way that he was able to play and fight in that role today?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted a quicker two. We were hoping that, we were hoping that, we could chip Alex and Silas could get downhill quicker for a two, or maybe get AK on a pop. But no, the design was not to dump it off late to Eric and then those guys almost bail us out for the 3-point play. But I certainly would have taken it from Tommy and those guys. But yeah, we wanted to try to get a quicker two or like kind of a ghost AK to try to get a three. But it actually, I mean, it worked out. The ball at home, that ball should go in.
Well, and what did you think of just the way that he was able to step into that role and
again, it sucks. And Taras being out, we should have been -10 on the glass today. I mean, we got punked. We punked out. It's going to be a bad film session coming out of here where there are people. There's a street fight going on in the paint. And, men can't watch fights, men, you can't stand on the outside, when your buddies are in a fight, you get in the fight, you don't stand on the periphery of the fight. And I think we see a lot of clips where guys were, not in the fight with their teammates. And so, again, Taras is one of the best rebounders in the country. There's a lot of things that would not have went on in the game. Paint defense, defensive rebounding, offensive rebounding. But I'll say this: I don't think I could be prouder of Big Eric. I mean, Eric's going to be an awesome player, and obviously the development moment for him tonight is going to do so much for his confidence, and then the different look that we're going to be able to give people at center, with him being able to pick and stay with the three-point shooting. And tonight's going to do a lot for his confidence. And when Taras gets back, we're going to have that two tandem center that's going to potentially be as good as we had it in the championship years.
Coach, Alex only getting 5 shots today. Is that more a credit to Arizona's defense, or was he just not in a rhythm?
I mean, listen, we had a Final Four crew, national championship crew out there tonight. I mean, that's as good as you're going to get it. I just think one of the things that we deal with, which I think, and again, it's not this is something that's a kind of a game-to-game thing for us, is, for us, off-ball movement, and screening and different types of actions with movement, it's like dribble drives for opponents, like them decking it, driving it. And, we just, I thought Alex was getting held a lot, you could top block, but top blocking screens and grabbing and holding, I think, that's a little, that had a little bit to do with it. I thought he had some threes down the stretch, I think, I think he shot faked a couple times where he had the space, especially after he made that huge three. But I think they did a great job guarding him. I think they had a good game plan. I think we might have missed him a couple times. But yeah, I think they guarded him well. And I think we've got to figure out when we're getting held, how to be able to play our offense.
Dan, with Taras out and also experiencing early foul trouble with Alex and Silas, did you feel good about the way Jalen also stepped up off the bench to provide a boost for the team? Seemed like it was a really crucial moment for you guys at that point in the game.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen's biggest thing is cardio. I mean, he was awesome to start the game, but he gets tired. And I think the next step for him is be able to sustain that. Like, that should have been a 15-point game for him, and should have been a game that he played in the 30s minutes. But, I think he's got, his cardio's got to get better, and he's got to be able to sustain it, because he's such a talented player, and he saved us in the first half because, we had all types of foul trouble. I mean, I was shocked we were down 2 at halftime just with all the people on the bench with 2 fouls.
Dan, 2 questions, if I may. You were seen having a conversation with Koa at the end of the game there. What is it you were saying to him, and what do you see out of him? What did you see in the scout for him?
Just amazing respect for the family, the pedigree. My brother Bob recruited him, and he just, and he knows the family, and he just talks about just the classiness of the family, the pedigree of the family, all the crazy level athletes amongst the siblings, and just the way he carries himself on the court. That guy has got he plays like a 10-year NBA vet. He knows his identity. He's all over the glass. He's just a classy player, and he's going to be a great NBA player.
And then second, free throws have seen a slow and steady decline over the past couple of games. You were 85% against New Haven, 77% against UMass Lowell. Columbia and BYU were about the same at 66%, and then tonight 50%. Is there something that you think you can fix with this, or is it just a matter of the bounces not falling?
Yeah, I think uncharacteristic of Alex in the first half, but he was just he missed the front end and he missed the second. So he scored one of a possible 4 in the first half, and then I just think Eric and Dwayne are not the free throw shooters that we need them to be right now. I think those 2 guys were. They were 3 for 10, and obviously that hurt there. But I think if some of our better free throw shooters got to the line more, You know, we would have shot a higher percentage. I think Eric eventually is going to be a real good free throw shooter. I think part of it was nerves and, you know, just being a freshman in a big spot. But I think we'll be a really good free throw shooting team. Confident in that.
Dan, how do you kind of square like a 5-game sample size where the defensive efficiency numbers are pretty good, but the fouls per game committed are maybe a little bit higher than you want? How do you sort of feel about the defense when those two things contrast a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's so much different. You know, this year compared to last, I just think it's you know, it's discipline, it's experience. You know. Just I think we're going to get better as a team defensively as the year goes. I thought we just did a horrible job of following the game plan tonight of being in gaps and keeping the ball in front of us. You know, it's no secret that they're 350 or in the 340s in three-point shooting or efficiency or getting their points from that line. So it's really hard to come to grips with the fact that we allowed 42 paint points to a team that doesn't really score it from three. That's the biggest frustration, that we were hugging and weren't able to, as the game got going, have the discipline to stay in the gaps. But we've got to clean up the fouling and some of it. You know, it's just I got to do a better job coaching these guys, of being more technical when the ball gets driven. Our wall up sucked. We're not in a stance, and our ball screen defense tonight at times was just fucking bad.
Coach, it seems like every time you guys started to get a little momentum, Bradley had an answer for you guys. What did you think of his performance tonight?
I mean, top point guard, top couple point guards. I mean, going to play in the NBA. Just made himself an NBA player. You know, he's got good size. Made a really hard midi. Against Eric, against the 7-footer. I thought a good contest on him. But just, yeah, I mean, two-way player. You know, one of the best point guards in the country, and he's going to play in the NBA. I mean, listen, they've got, you know, Krivas is an NBA player. Koa Pete's an NBA player. Jaden Bradley's an NBA player. Berries is an NBA player. I actually think Del Orso is going to make an NBA team just because he's got size and he shoots it with the way the new NBA plays. I know he wasn't good tonight, but that guy's is maybe the best bench player in the country. So I mean, they've got I think a lot of talent around him. I think these guys are, you know, legit contenders like we are. Yeah.
So is that, it's got to say something about, I imagine, the grit and stick-to-itiveness that you guys show.
I mean, like I said, I mean, like when I'm sometime around 2 a.m., 3, 4:30 a.m., I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna think it was just a nightmare, you know, that like, and then finally when I'm up and just kind of starting to move around, but I'm feeling half dead at around 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'm going to realize, that we just fucking blew a chance to beat one of the best teams down 2 studs, and in a game that we were down 13 and wobbling. You know, in a game where AK didn't have it, Solo didn't have it. You know, your backup freshman center emerges as a guy that now when Taras gets back, you're going to have some special things there. It's like, you know, we got 4 more of these monsters in the non-conference. We got a game on Sunday that we need to take to court with a very high level of rage and pissed off with how we show up for that. But, you know, our people got to get our guys healthy and on the court so that we could be the team that we're all really high on. It just tonight sucked to lose like that.